Julie Chen, you've been co-hosting The Talk ever since the show started in 2010. And first off, I want to say congratulations on the show winning Best Entertainment Talk Show for the first time last year at the Daytime Emmys. What was that moment like for you and the rest of the team to have that suddenly happen?
It was the surprise of our lives. It was shocking because we had been nominated, I believe, every year, and we were in our 6th season, so we were resigned to, we were going to lose to whatever show. So I think we figured out the secret to winning. We made plans to have dinner right after our category was announced, expecting them to say that we did not win. So when they called out our name, we were like, well, who cares about dinner now? It's always like when you plan for one thing, the opposite happens. So I'd say this year we're going to make a dinner reservation at like 2 minutes after the show starts, so that we have to win. Who knows? The pressure is on. But it was really a genuine surprise, but a moment that none of us will forget because we had zero expectations going into it.
Yeah, and it must have been, it's a really smart idea, first of all, to make other, plans, sort of, you reward yourself whether it happens, or whether it doesn't. So there's always something to look forward to no matter what.
Yes, we were going to drink our sorrows of losing into our martinis, but instead we were clinking away, and it was a joyous occasion. It was a really, really nice surprise.
Yeah, and I imagine the whole cast and crew must have been on kind of a high, going back into the show right after the Daytime Emmys. Suddenly you're the Emmy-winning Best Talk Show, The Talk. What was that energy like when you came back to the set? As the winners of that category.
It was like a shot in the arm. I mean, most of us who work on the show have been here since the beginning, and that was 6 years in, and suddenly we were like kids on the first day of school, starting like a brand new school. It was so invigorating, which sounds so silly in some ways because we do love coming to work anyway and giving each show our all. But I have to say there was an extra spring in everyone's step, and everyone gave, instead of 110% every day, they gave like 125% that Monday after. So it was really nice. Everyone likes to win. Everyone likes to say it's just an honor to be nominated, which it is, because that's recognition alone. But winning is just, I don't know, it feels good.
Yeah, and this year though, I mean, after the award show mix-up heard round the world at the Oscars last month, you just make sure this year, no matter what happens, that you got someone, make sure they have the right envelope so that they don't accidentally give it to like Ellen or Kelly Ripa or something like that when it should be you.
It could happen because it happened to us when we were presenters the year before. And luckily, the 5 of us do live television every day, and Aisha was so quick on her feet, she didn't blurt out the wrong name for a different category. She would have spoiled a surprise for a category that was coming like a few minutes later. And it was like, obviously it didn't make sense. And it's okay to say, hey, mishap here, but let's hope everything goes smoothly at this year's Daytime Emmys.
Yeah, fingers crossed for that, certainly, for the sake of the nominees and winners, of course. The show's been going on strong for 7 years now, and after that much time on the air and then the Emmy win, was there a drive to keep pushing the show, pushing the boundaries, or do you think it's found the right groove that it's settled into, and it's just smooth sailing at this point?
It's a little bit of both. We don't want to say that the sailing is too smooth, because then you become a little bit complacent, and we don't want to take anything for granted. So luckily, our executive producing team, we have 3 executive producers. We're led by John Redman, who has been in Daytime Talk for, I think, like close to 30 years. He's amazing, and he really drives us to bring our A game every day. And every September when we start a new season, he's like, all right, what can we do this year? We've revealed You ladies with no makeup in the past. We've revealed secrets from our personal lives. We've, shared tears. We've, shared good news live on the show with the announcement of Sarah being pregnant. What can we do next? I don't know what is left, but I do know that our producing team will come up with something and we'll be happy to oblige.
The show won Best Talk Show, but which is a testament to you and your co-hosts, of course. But you're still aiming for that first win for Best Talk Show Host. Hopefully, you've been nominated the last 3 years to that category. So how are you guys finally gonna take out Kelly Ripa this time?
Oh, is she the one who won every time that we lost?
The last two, at least.
Darn that Kelly. She's good, and she's a friend of mine. So I just say, may the best ladies, plural, win? No, I don't know. She's tough. She's been at this a long time. I'm going to go into it saying that we are the underdog and that we probably won't win. And if we do, that'll be a pleasant surprise. The show goes on. So look, if we don't win like all the other years, we don't win. It's not everything.
Well,
renewed. That is the real thing. Getting renewed for another season, I'll take that over any win, any day. Employment is a good thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And and with daytime, of course, you have shows like The View have been on for 20 years. Kelly Ripa, as you mentioned, has been doing this a long time, and Ellen DeGeneres show has been going for 14 years. So I mean, every time you're renewed, that's another chance not only to do your best show, but to come back in and pick up some more hardware.
I'm proud of the fact that we are in our 7th season, because it feels like we were that little show that started as a pilot just yesterday. And the fact that my husband always says, look at the daytime TV landscape. He always says, you ladies should feel so proud of what you do, because there has not been a daytime hit since The Talk. It's hard to get new viewers to change their habits, to, sample something enough where they want to become regular viewers. So we take great pride in the fact that here we are and we show no signs of slowing down.
And the way just television in general, the way people consume television and entertainment has changed so much, and that does definitely seem to have affected, how difficult it is to get people to attach to a new, especially a daytime show. So that's absolutely a testament to what you guys have been doing.
Thank God for the DVR is all I have to say. I know a lot of girlfriends, whether they're like other moms at my son's school or people I know casually, and they'll come up to me, they'll say, I work, but I DVR it because, I love to watch it as the last thing when I get home from like a long, tiring day at the hospital or whatever, because you ladies just make me laugh and I get a little bit of news, I get a little bit of gossip. So that I find very reassuring.
Once again, the Daytime Emmy nominations are going to be announced live on The Talk on March 22nd. It's a really unusual kind of circumstance. You're not only announcing the nominations, but you're potentially announcing your own nominations, hopefully, fingers crossed, once again this year.
Not announcing our names, which is really the uncomfortable moment, and that's what we're hoping won't happen, but you never know.
You never know. So what's that pressure like to, of having that anticipation with a live audience, at that same time?
Well, here's the way I look at it. Between all the daytime shows on the CBS lineup, whether you're talking about our show or Let's Make a Deal or Price is Right or Y&R, B&B, someone's getting nominated from our team. So even if we don't call out our own names, we're gonna be cheering on, our cousin show or whatever it is. So either way, it's going to be a good day when we make the announcements of the nominees.
You know, with the Emmys, Emmys are unique, both primetime and daytime, but you know they have slightly different systems. But you know, episode submissions are important in deciding the Emmy winners. So you know, can you talk about which episodes are being entered for the talk for best talk show and best talk show host this year?
Yes, we entered two shows. One was our Rocktober Lip Sync War, which is our Halloween show. You know, we had to, again, we always like to try and up our game. And this past year, I felt we outdid ourselves with me reprising my role as Madonna, but a different look for Madonna this year. I did the Marie Antoinette Vogue Awards performance, lip syncing that, learning a lot of choreography. Cheryl, I mean, brought down the house with her rendition of Little Richard. Aisha was dressed up as Lionel Richie. I cannot listen to All Night Long on the radio without picturing her and that ridiculous mustache and her fro and her hilarious dance moves. I mean, I'm driving on the freeway laughing by myself and people are like, what's with the lady? Sharon as Marilyn Monroe, and of course, Sarah as Cher from the If I Could Turn Back Time video and outfit. So that was one of the shows that we submitted. And the other one, our week when we premiere is always extra special shows because we realize, all right, we're in a new season. We might get some new eyeballs. We've got to really, you know, turn things up a notch or two. And this past year, we launched with the 7 wonders of the talk, the 7 wonders of the world and the talk. Ever wonder? And we read all the comments on Facebook and take them very seriously. And more than once, you might find this surprising, people have said, why does Aisha talk so much? So we decided to take something that could be looked at as a criticism and we made light of it. And so did Aisha. The great thing is that everyone on the panel has a great sense of humor about themselves and everything in general. So I think that shows Emmy voters, like, we can make fun of ourselves and we can hear the criticism and acknowledge that, yeah, you know, we're not perfect and you have a point. And that was the other show that we submitted. It was a really fun episode, especially that whole week. We gave away a car every day to a woman in need. We like to help each other out. We're not just here to make you laugh and entertain you for an hour. We like to do what we can to help out here and there. And these women that won cars, it was life-changing. You could see it in their faces, you know, and that always feels good.
Now, you know, with a daily, you know, daytime talk show, you know, you have so many episodes from any given year, and to pick 2 must be, you know, very challenging. You know, were there any other moments in 2016 that, you know, personally stood out to you yourself that you were, you know, personally proud of or that you had the fondest memories of from last year?
Well, a very recent episode that we did last week, you know, and I think it was like our highest numbers of the season. When we had a full hour dedicated to Cher. Everyone knows Cher is not one that you will see, you know, sitting down on a talk show often or at all. I can't even, the last one I remember was when she sat down with David Letterman, and I think that was like easily, it could have been 20 years ago. And she came out of her beautiful estate in Malibu, which is not close to where we are in Studio City. And she was camera ready to have a whole hour of talk. And that was something that felt really special because of who she is, what she's done in her life, in her career. She's legendary. So that one is another one that I could see being submitted for something down the road. I don't know if we even can at this point because I know there are dates of when you can submit and can't submit. But if we could, In my mind, that is one of our best shows.
I believe the Daytime Emmys work with calendar years, so you can probably enter that one for next year's awards.
Oh, there you go. Unless our Halloween is even better, which now that's our challenge. How do we make our next Halloween dress-up show better than the one we did last year for Halloween or the Cher episode?
Well, I think the key is to get Cher back and have her dress as Sarah Gilbert.
There you go. Yes.
Now, in addition to the talk, of course, you've also been hosting Big Brother for since it started in 2000. So that's coming back this summer. Did you ever think that you'd be going 17 years with that show? Back when it started.
I never thought I would be renewed for a second season. I even had doubts that the first season was going to see its completion. That was like a whole new experience for me, being on a primetime show, because up until that point I had only done morning news, and the news is not going away. No matter how bad your ratings are, we got to put on the news on CBS. So it was strange to be in this world of entertainment, and although the ratings were very high, because I believe we had Survivor as a lead-in, I want to say we had 25 million viewers on that first episode. The reviews were atrocious. I mean, hideous. They didn't like the show. They didn't like the house guests. They didn't like the host. Me. They didn't like the furniture. They didn't like the lighting. They didn't like that. They said it looked cheap and rinky. They hated everything about the show. And I thought I've just committed career suicide by saying yes to doing the show. But lo and behold, it got renewed for a second season, and there were a lot of changes made with the set, with the concept of the game. The biggest change was the concept of the game changed, because we learned from our mistakes. In season 1, we kind of did it like American Idol style, like call in if you want this person voted out, and call this number if you want that person voted out. And we realized that American viewers, we don't like discomfort. So they voted out all the troublemakers first, who were the most interesting people. And then there was no friction in the house. There was no reason for drama, because everyone was like, well, I'd really love to keep you, but America doesn't want you here. America has spoken. So we changed it to season 2, where everyone had something on the line. You had to vote each other out. That created cliques and alliances and just storylines that you needed. And it developed this following. And then word of mouth, it spread. And I think the reason we've lasted, what are we going on, our 18th year, is because every summer we get new eyeballs with kids who they hit around 4th grade and they discover it, and it's a new show to them, and they are ours for hopefully life, but at least we're good for another 3 seasons with those fans. But we'll see. I'm gonna die in that job. I don't see that show going anywhere. I could be wrong. I don't want to jinx myself, but we'll see.
Now, the new season comes up this summer. I'm sure there's not much you can tell us, but is there anything that you can tease? Any details that are available to be shared at this point?
Being that it is March, this is the time that the producers start pitching ideas to the network, and then the network either says those are all terrible, come back with more, or they say this one's not bad, but let's tweak it. So it's literally just coming together right now. I probably could make a phone call to find out what's on the horizon, but the talk keeps me busy, so they're probably glad that I'm not bugging them, because I know producers don't like to reveal any of their secrets until they've officially pitched it to the network. So I honestly don't know what they have in mind.
Well, I know everyone's looking forward to that and looking forward to more of the talk as well. I want to wish you the best of luck on both of those, and certainly the best of luck on March 22nd when the talk will announce the Daytime Emmy nominations live. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
Thanks, Daniel. Thanks for your time.